All right, folks. I want to invite you to get into a comfortable position, something you feel like you can hold for about 12 or 15 minutes. If you feel comfortable, you can have your feet flat on the floor, have your back somewhat straight, but definitely don't strain yourself. Make sure you're comfortable enough to have minimal readjustments throughout this meditation. And then I do invite you to close your eyes. Of course, if you don't want to close your eyes, you absolutely don't have to. It's good to close your eyes to minimize distractions. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can just keep your eyes open, have a soft gaze in front of you, a couple feet in front of you. And when you hear the sound of the bell, I want to invite you to bring all of your attention, all of your awareness on your breathing, and then wait for further instructions. Breathing in and breathing out. Take a moment to notice where it's easiest to sense your breath. The nostrils, the belly, the chest. Wherever it's easiest, just let your awareness rest right there. Breathing in and breathing out. As a reminder, the goal is not to have no thoughts or be calm all the time. It's simply to use the breath to be present. Our intention is to cultivate equanimity, to be present to whatever arises in our mind without judgment, without reactivity. We use the breath to anchor ourselves to the body, to anchor ourselves to this present moment. Breathing in, aware that you're breathing in. Breathing out, aware that you're breathing out. Be curious about the breath. If you're breathing deep, just let yourself breathe deep. If you're breathing shallow, just let yourself breathe shallow. Just be curious about the breath, the nature of the breath as it is in this moment. Whatever your experience is, that's okay. Whether it's a clunky breath or a smooth breath or anything in between, just be present to it. Breathing in, aware that you're breathing in. Breathing out, aware that you're breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. It's inevitable that the mind will wander away from the breath. You'll start to think about other things besides the breath. You'll Sometimes get distracted from noises in the room or other experiences that come up. Whenever that happens, just remind yourself that it's the nature of the mind to wander. There's no need to think you're doing anything wrong, and definitely no need to get frustrated or irritated. If you have those thoughts of, I can't meditate, or my mind's moving a million miles an hour, just be aware of them without judgment. When you notice the wandering mind, just gently and without reactivity, bring your mind back to the breath, back to wherever it's easiest to sense your breathing. The belly, the chest, the nostrils, here and now, breathing in and breathing out. The mind may be calm and serene right now, or it might be jumbled or active or even overwhelmed or anywhere in between. Whatever your experience is right now, that's okay. You can't get that part wrong. Our goal isn't to have no thoughts or be super relaxed. If that's your experience, of course, that's okay. But the goal is simply to use the breath to draw our awareness in to this present moment over and over again, to be present to what is in this moment. The thoughts, the emotions, the sensations, even the sounds in your room, to just be present to what is, to be present to life in this moment. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, aware that you're breathing in. Breathing out, aware that you're breathing out. This is a practice of forgetting and remembering, as one of my teachers used to say. Inevitably, you'll forget that you're meditating. Your mind will get all wrapped up into fantasy land. And then at some point, you'll remember that you're meditating. You'll come down from fantasy land and imagination and thinking and remember the breath here and now. The breath is our anchor, it's our tether. It tethers us to the body, it tethers us to this present moment. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. I want to invite you to do just a brief body scan if you're not already in touch with your physical body. To just briefly scan from your feet, your lower legs, your shins and calves, your upper legs, just noticing any sensations, your torso and your trunk, your hands and forearms and upper arms and shoulders, your neck, your jaw, your face, your ears and the sides of your head and the very back and top of your head. And just expand your awareness to your whole body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. And just do a physical check-in. Notice how you're feeling right now physically. Energized or maybe exhausted or anywhere in between. And just notice if there's any points of tension in the body, the back, the neck, or anywhere else. Just set an intention to release, to let those areas release that tension. I also want to invite you to check in with your emotional body. Ask yourself the question, how am I doing? How am I feeling right now? And then just notice what arises. Maybe a strong emotion, maybe a subtle emotion, or maybe you're feeling emotionally neutral. That's okay too. Just check in with yourself. And finally, notice how your mental content has been. Maybe it's been active, maybe it's been calm. Just really affirm how you are in this moment, physically, mentally, emotionally, without judgment, without reactivity. However you're feeling, that's okay. Just observe. As we get towards the end of this exercise, I want to invite you to set an intention for today, for this week, for this month, whatever feels right. Set an intention to show up as your authentic self, to be who you're supposed to be, to practice self-care, to practice gratitude, to practice forgiveness and compassion. In a few moments, I'll ring the bell, and when I do, I want to invite you to listen to the sound of the bell until you can't hear it any longer, or until it's no longer there. And then when you feel comfortable, if your eyes were closed, you can slowly open them, expanding your awareness outside of the formal exercise. All right, folks, thank you so much. Really hope this was valuable and helpful to you. You're going to receive a survey sometime soon, just asking you some questions about how we can improve the community. And we'll see you next week. I think we'll go back to the morning time next Monday, but part of the survey will be asking you, what works best, because we're really going to dial it in. Hope you have a good rest of your day, good rest of your week. Later, folks.